And when something in this society generates money, generates a lot of money, it's going to be exploited by people. So you're going to have people who are just looking to exploit it, people who don't take it serious, colonizer-minded people. They're all coming to get the money because we live in a capitalistic society and a capitalistic system, and that's just the way things are. Yes, we don't have to like it, but it is what it is, and that's just the way it's going to be. All right, let's get into it. So recently, Tyler, the Creator, was on the Mavericks podcast, and that's a podcast by Maverick Carter, who's a part of LeBron James' business team, if you don't know who he is. And he stirred up some controversy with some comments he made about his take on hip hop in general, I think, and also some of the artists in hip hop and where it's going and how it may be being exploited. First, I'm going to play his comments, and then we'll get into my commentary on that and what I think about it, and maybe some of the things that we may be missing as far as examining hip hop. Let's get into it.
This white kid, regular like Caucasian man, and he's like mocking Future and Gucci Mane like rap music. And like people are like, this shit hard. It's not even like satire. It's like, I'm just joking, I'm just mocking it. But I'm like, no, you can't do. And I hold rap music so close to my heart because this shit changed my life and everyone's life around me. And I'm a nerd about this shit. This is like weird. And I'm looking at it and something about it like don't even sit well with me in comparison to someone like a Mac Miller or Eminem, who it didn't seem like they was mocking it. They had a genuine love for it, and they were still just being,
Now, most people assume that Tyler was talking about this young man here, a rapper by the name of Ian. And I've never heard of this kid before this interview, and people saying this is who Tyler was referring to. And yes, I do agree with Tyler that his music is not good. It's trash. And I also agree as far as us having white rappers, because that became the issue, because he said, this regular white man. As far as white rappers, of course, exploiting the culture, right? And just making fun of it and mocking it, as he said. Now, of course, he named Eminem. He named Mac Miller. Okay, I have both of them on the screen. And of course, their talent levels are much higher. But I think what we have to look at is, look, if we're going to accept mumble rap from people who are quote unquote from the culture, like he named Future, okay, if this white rapper, Ian, is influenced by Future, then I think that's just what it is. And we have to, I think, just accept the fact that entertainment within itself is exploitative at some degree. I mean, at some point along the line, along the history of hip hop, it became about money. And I wonder where that idea came from, that hip hop was just about money. I don't know. We can think about that. But I think what catches people off guard is, or annoys people or gets their attention, is that when the person who's exploiting the culture or appears to be exploiting the culture is of a different race and appears to come from outside of the culture. Now, there have been plenty white rappers, as he named Eminem and Mac Miller, the Beastie Boys come to mind, from a historical standpoint, that have contributed to the history of hip hop.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Now, I feel you super revolutionaries calling me names and things like that. But it's okay. The bottom line is we can't really determine based on somebody's skill level or because we don't like their music if they're being exploitative, if they're just really being influenced by the people that they like in hip hop. And maybe their opinions, their musical opinions, in our opinion, are not good ones, right? Some people, some fans simply are like this.
I love it because it's trash.
And they like music that to musicians like Tyler the Creator, people we don't consider serious, right? Because that's what he was alluding to with the Ian Kid, is that he's mocking it. He's not even taking the art serious. And he may just be trash. He just may not be a good rapper at all. And in my opinion, his influences, let's say his influences are Future and the Lil Yachty's of the world. I've never listened to Future, an album, barely a song, like that record and things like that where people are featured on. I don't like his music. That doesn't mean, but there's people who do. And that is kind of the gift and the curse of the subjectivity of art and entertainment, especially in music. People's tastes are going to be very different at times. Rarely is there going to be a consensus on what is good. I mean, to me, when I see things like this,
I hang with my gang, this I gained and felt all of my pain. When I was struggling through the rain, when I had no guard with no ice, wasn't no food but rice.
That's cringeworthy to me. But some people thought it was vibey, they vibe with what he was doing. They don't realize that when you say it wasn't no food for rice, that rice is also food, right? But to me, that's not bars at all. It doesn't make any sense, but to some people it's vibey. It made perfect sense, and Lil Yachty has a flourishing career. And I'm not trying to be facetious or funny when I say that. It's just we have to understand some people, in our opinion, have poor taste, just like people think Kendrick Lamar is too lyrical and wordy. We got that from the battle. They don't want to hear conscious raps. They don't want to hear messages in music. They just want to vibe out and use narcotics. Okay, now I'm not gonna get petty, but we do have to accept the fact, and we all know the fact, that certain people use certain things and certain substances for inspiration, right? Sometimes it's more evident than others, like this time right here.
My drug, that's my gun, that's my shit. Don't touch, 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 that's my brick. Don't touch, that's my bitch. Don't touch, that's I'm rich.
Everybody can't come up here, Brooklyn.
And we get culture clashes like that, where one person's or one group of people's idea of what hip hop is one thing, and then you have another group and another generation whose idea of what hip hop is something totally different. That clash is always going to exist because, as I said before, music is subjective, right? But this is where I think the conversation that was being had by Q-Tip and Ninth Wonder, where as far as hip hop being separated into genres, I think that's already happened. And I think a lot of times we should not put trap rappers in the same, or hold them to the same standard that we do hip hop artists. It's a different kind of thing. As I showed in the clips before, the trap rappers is not really about a message, and it's not really about being the most musically talented. It's just really about a vibe, and it's kind of just about making money. Let's just call it for what it is. It is a pop version of rap music. And the exploitation is going to come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and we're not going to be able to catch it right away. In the previous picture I showed with Puffy and Jay-Z and T.I. pouring out the Cristal, once Cristal said that they don't want Black people drinking. We're late to realizing when somebody's exploiting our culture. If you look in the images here, Kid Rock got the stamp of approval from a lot of real MCs and rappers. And if you know how that turned out. Kid Rock was just exploiting the culture, right? Now, it's easy to point out Kid Rock doing that. It's not as easy to point out other artists who have agendas that don't really have anything to do with pushing forward African-American culture and life. So I said all that to say this. In order for us to really want to curate our culture and kind of be the gatekeepers of our culture, we have to not accept not being that, and just letting things sit as they are and just selling out for the money and selling out for the check. We have to really be vocal in not supporting art that is not good. You know what I'm saying? When it seems like somebody is trying to exploit hip hop, no matter how they look, no matter what race they are, color, creed, whatever, we have to call it out and call it out loudly. We can't just step up when it makes us feel uncomfortable because now it's a person of a different race. That's kind of corny and hypocritical when you allow it from people who look like you. You're kind of doing the same thing. It's kind of a colonizer mindset. So you get colonizer results. So I know people going to agree or disagree. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. I do agree with Tyler, but I do understand how we got here. And it's something that we kind of created on our own by not really being responsible for what we allow and what we accept in hip hop as or as trap music or as rap music. If it seems exploitative, we need to be more vigilant in calling it out and making sure that it doesn't have success and that it doesn't see the light of day. So that's all I got. Thank y'all for watching the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and click that now. Hit that like button for me. Hit that notification bell. And click one of these 2 videos that you're going to see at the end of this video. This is the best place for real hip-hop discussion, real hip-hop thoughts, bar breakdowns, lyric breakdowns, music explained, album reviews. Click one of those videos at the end. And as always, thank you for continuing to watch, and we out.